talk about single arms. So a lot of times you have an injury in one arm, but you want to work the other one, or you're doing rehab and this one's healthy, and putting them together like a puzzle to make them coordinate. What's the benefit of being able to do a single arm pedal?
Right. I mean, I think, like you said, if you can't do the other arm, right? I mean, this is a good way to maintain your cardiorespiratory fitness. But I think it also touches on another topic that we've kind of talked about, either standing on one leg or standing on some unstable surfaces where you have to try and control some rotation. Just inherently, now we make this an asymmetrical exercise.
Okay.
I've got to be able to focus here a little bit more to make sure that I am not kind of, doing something with my trunk as I'm moving. And especially as we turn up the resistance, what's going to happen is now all of a sudden I've really got to use my trunk. You can think of like anti-rotation. That's oftentimes where people are lacking, is that they can't control these rotational forces to their trunk as they're moving. And I think this is a good way to think about. So if I have both hands attached here, they counterbalance each other, right? I don't really have to control as much of the rotation. I mean, think about doing a squat. When you do a squat, you're not worried about twisting your body because you have, two foundational support kind of bases. With here, it's the same thing. Now all of a sudden I don't have the counterbalance of my other arm. I've got to be able to make sure I can stabilize my one arm as I'm doing things like reaching, grabbing things.
So would you recommend in this position that even if you don't have an injured arm, just sometimes to go single arm because you're so focused on your core while doing it?
Yeah, and I think that might be something that doesn't come quite across in the video, how much you're actually using your stomach to kind of stabilize. And now, I mean, you can be sloppy with this exercise and kind of let things shift around. If you're really focused on keeping your belly button kind of straight at the bar in front of you as you're moving, you're going to feel your stomach engage.
Absolutely. The core stability and the whole trunk activation by simply placing this up on the bar and being able to push into it is huge. And now the lovely rotator and the frozen shoulders and all kinds of things we have going on with our shoulder, and working on range of motion, turning to the side and kind of putting it to work. Walk me through what you feel when you're using in this motion.
Right, so here we have the resistance turned up a little bit higher, right? And I think this is a good exercise for later stages of rehab for strength. You're starting to maybe think about initiating some plyometrics, because as I'm here and as I have to push out to the side, I have to initiate against some force. I mean, there's friction through the device. I have to overcome that friction to be able to move it. And I can kind of, if I try and go fast here, I've got to be able to recruit muscle quickly. And that's what you need to do when you throw things, whether it's a football, baseball, doesn't really matter. But it's also, I'm doing it in a safe range because the device only goes, so far. I'm not going to get to that end range where I am more vulnerable. Plus, as I'm initiating things out to the side, again, I have to make sure that my trunk is stable. There's a saying that you can't fire a cannon out of a rowboat, right? Because there has to be that stability proximally that I can then kind of keep everything stable and use my force to go out to the side.
Now, how about same idea where we're coming more standing to the side and working the shoulder here?
Right, and I think that's another thing where, again, you can use your body to help initiate the motion. And you think about any type of a rotational sport here where I can start to get my hips to move, and how can I connect that, like from my hips, transfer force through my trunk and then into my arm. So now, I mean, yes, we've talked about kind of strengthening, but you're also thinking about how do I start to initiate like motor control, improve motor patterns, so that you can transfer force through your arms.